Hey, you guys. Hi there, it's Sonia Morgan.
Hello, everyone. It's Jen Shaw from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Hey, guys. It's Emily from the Real Housewives of Orange County.
It's the Marge. I'm dialing in.
Hey, everybody. Ebony K. Williams here, newbie.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys. It's Brandi Redmond from Dallas.
What's up? It's Heather Gay from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
25,000 in case you didn't recognize me.
Hi, guys.
Ay, Dios mío. No.
My friend, my soulmate, my sister. I am so glad that Juan Dixon is not here right now.
Erica, I don't have to make you look bad. You can do that on your own.
Better? Is bitch better?
I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking.
Hello, Beverly Troop. Welcome back. I'm the real Andy of Beverly Hills, and welcome to another day and a big surprise that I have for you today. To all of my fans of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Girl, remember when we finished first season and we did this huge interview with Michael, the Butler, and his wife at the moment? Well, right now, season 2 is over. A crazy season, probably the most dramatic season that we have seen from this specific franchise, with all of these ladies who are the embodiment of craziness and drama. And who or which person will be better to give us all the insight, all the tea, all the really drama that went inside that, of course, their own Butler. So I want to welcome right now, guys, here it is for you, Mr. Marco Antonio Vega, aka the Butler of Bluestone Manor. Hello, Marco.
How's it going, Andy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit nervous about all of this craziness, but man, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I mean, tell everyone, where are you? Because you are in the middle of like anywhere.
Yeah, right now I'm in Cuamo, Puerto Rico. It's a small city in the south of Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's kind of always been my dream to run away here and set up shop. And so me and my wife are, taking slow steps to make it happen.
Oh, so you're married.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. A lot of people wanted you to be single, but that's good to know that you're married.
Yeah. Some people think I should lead with that, but I mean, I can be just Marco first, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you something. So who is Marco? Like, what's your story, like your life story?
Oh man, what a deep scoop. Okay. Wow. I was born in Provo, Utah, in a very Puerto Rican home. So we were, maybe the only brown family on the block.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very, very different. I was raised LDS in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going to college for acting. Like, I didn't really want to go to college. I got a scholarship and I was like, I guess I'm going to college. I went to college. I became an actor. I do like construction jobs and I have a big family and who is Mark? I'm a very loud spoken, opinionated artist is how I guess I would say that as fast as I could.
Yeah. So you are an actor. That's what you like.
Yeah. I guess artist could be more broad. I write and things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a degree in acting. Yeah, I was acting when I got recommended for Real Housewives.
That's cool. Were you living in Utah or Puerto Rico when you get like this call?
So I was living in Utah at the time, actually. I was living in Utah, working at the Utah Shakespeare Festival. And then it was a situation where a friend's wife's childhood elementary school's friend grew up to be a producer, and now that producer needed somebody really quick. And so somehow through that chain of events, my name got passed through. And when I was first in contact, it didn't seem real. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. You know, you have some sort of thing you can't tell me about, because they didn't even say Real Housewives initially. They just said there's some TV thing. And I was like, oh, sure, I don't care. I'll take that gig. They got me on the phone and said it was Real Housewives. I admitted right away that I had never seen an episode. I knew.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know the show, and they were like, oh, don't worry, that's actually kind of good. So I was like, okay, here we go. And I just I'm the kind of person who likes to like jump into the dark and take chances. And so I took the gig really not knowing a ton about what my job would be. They said, you'd be a concierge. And I said, I know nothing about the area. I don't know. And they said, oh, that's okay. You don't need to be a concierge. You're going to like tell them the schedule and help out wherever is needed. And I said, so a butler? And they were like, yeah, basically. Anyway, it was not the clearest job description, but I jumped in anyway. I was really excited.
Did you knew that Dorinda was going to be like your boss, or you have no idea, nothing at all until you got there? Nothing
at all. So on the first day, as I'm sure many of the viewers may understand, because I'm not from a TV background. I've never seen a live set like this. You guys have Dorinda's house. It is beautiful, but there were like cables and wires coming out of every window. There's like taped up lights in every room to supplement the actual lighting. You know, it's a live thing. There's a set, like a trailer outside where the producers are sitting. So anyway, so all this stuff is being introduced to me so fast. I'm being walked through the house by a producer. Introduced Dorinda to me for the very first time very quickly. And I had never seen Dorinda before. And it was kind of like a quick hello. She wasn't assuming at all. She was very polite, very kind. And she wasn't really even dressed up. She was kind of like she was, you know, wandering her house in her pajamas and, you know, straightening things up. And I just hello and moved on. But the next time I saw her, she was like dolled up. The cameras were out. And she was running ship. Like it was like night and day. And those are my two experiences of how I met Dorinda. A very casual, chill lady about the house to this like lady running a very tight ship, and it happened very quickly. But she was always really kind to me. You know, people ask me how she treated me, and she was never rude to me beyond the day with the chilled white wine. She was upset about the chilled white wine, and then she moved on. That was gonna be one of my questions, because as you say, a lot of people watching the show, of course, like they edit on a certain way, so there were like little pieces here and there where people were saying like, oh, why is she treating him like that? Why is she saying this to him? Why is that, you know? And then people assume that you have been working for her for like years, you know. So but nothing of that happened. Like she was always very nice. Yeah, she was always really nice. In fact, if they wanted to show her really running ship, they would probably show her like tracking down producers, because throughout the day she was often like called to go figure out something, and so she had to like march off and find a producer or march off and find somebody. And sometimes that person was me, because I happened to be the guy who was running back and forth. So
did she give you like any weird rules, you know, or like make sure like this doesn't happen, or it was
no, not at all. She gave me the rules of the house. In my mind at the time, I was like, that's nice, but I had already seen the rules broken, right? Because I was with cupcakes in the room.
Yeah.
So when I was, I saw the rules and I was like, okay, that's nice. And then I definitely had to follow them, but I didn't think the women had to follow them. But
yeah, we'll get into Cupcake Gate later. Would you work for Dorinda again, or would you recommend working for Dorinda as a boss?
You know what? I would say that the Butler gig was made difficult by so many other things that I wouldn't even say that Dorinda was a burden to me as in that gig. She was difficult, but she was the lady of the house and she was running ship, so I was the one she had to come to. So it made sense. And but I would work for Dorinda again, but I think only if she wanted me to. If she wanted to come back, I probably would. But if she didn't want me to and Bravo asked me to, I would say no.
So I don't know if you know this, but Bluestone Manor is such an iconic place for housewife fans, not only Housewife of New York, but in general. It's because it represents, like, many things have happened in there through the years. What was your first impression of Bluestone Manor, like, once you get there?
To be completely candid, I thought it was a slave owner's house. That's because it's in the middle of like fields, and there's a long driveway with these big trees, and it's old, northeast. And then like down the hill from Bluestone Manor is like a miniature Bluestone Manor. And you can clearly tell like that's where the help would have lived. So you have this vibe of old money, right? And then you step into the house and it's like every inch of the house has been decked with some piece of art or some piece of furniture or some fine trimming. Like I was walking around with my phone taking pictures of like small things. Like she has gloves signed by Muhammad Ali up in the corner next to like a dragon something. Like her house really is incredible. It really is. Every piece of that property is like immaculate. Bluestone Manor is a great name for the place, for sure.
Did you feel it was haunted anywhere?
No, I didn't. There is a very creepy basement that, of course, you didn't see on camera, but I had to go through quite often. And I remember looking around and thinking like, oh, this is where it would be that vibe, but I didn't feel anything like that. Not at all.
No, it was some of the girls were feeling like kind of like a haunty, like weird vibe, especially when Dorinda says that there is this tree that she felt her husband constantly. So like I was like, girl, I mean, with a house this big and this old, like you never know.
Yeah,
you never know anything.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so take me to the moment. Okay, you're gonna be the butler, or you're in this show, housewife, blah blah blah, and then these ladies start arriving on little groups. What is your first impression of these ladies?
Okay. The first vehicle that showed up, I believe, was Tamra, Vicky, and Taylor. I believe, right?
Yeah.
They all brought gifts. I thought that was like really nice. They all brought gifts to like, welcome their host. I thought that was really classy thing. But then they all kind of turned their nose up to all the wines in this way, where I learned very quickly that white wine is only served one way. That's something I truly was not aware of. Anyway, but they came into the house looking like they wanted to check it out, and they were very kind of distant, kind of like feeling the vibe. They were like slower to get into the place. But I felt like when Eva and Phaedra showed up, it was like they were really like they were hungry for it. They weren't slow for the experience. They were like excited and open, and you know what I mean? It's an energy. It's a little different, but you can feel it. You can definitely feel it. And I don't know them at this point. I really don't know. I mean, I still don't know them, but I hadn't had a sense of who they were yet. Now I can say like, oh, Tamara and Vicky and Taylor are probably new old timers, and they're slower to jump into things. And Eva and Phaedra are we're coming in with no expectation. So it makes sense now in hindsight.
Oh, also their personalities, like ones are from Orange County, the other ones are from Atlanta, East Coast, West Coast, it works differently.
Totally.
Let me ask. So I have three people that a lot of my subscribers really want to know. It's like, what was your first impression of Brandi, Jill, and Vicky?
Brandi, Jill. Okay, so I think my first impression of Brandi was she would be the troublemaker. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because of her behavior. It was because of how everyone was speaking and like, oh, here we go. The energy that people were throwing her way before she even showed up was like, Brandi is, here we go.
Listening to her name.
That's right. So I was getting ready for that type of personality. And I think she fit that. She really does fit this, like, who knows, she's going to really be open and reactive with you. She's not going to hold back. So she really is a force to be reckoned with. I think Jill is one of the kindest people. I would easily go into business with Jill. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. I saw her get a lot of flack in the house. On the day I would see it, and I was kind of confused by it. But it is like a nonstop Jill train. If you let her, she will take over the show, and she will tell you about all the things she has going on. And it's not bad for her. She's ready to talk about it,
Yeah.
For instance, they didn't show this on the show, but she provided breakfast one morning from a bagel place from New York, and she had it shipped in, and she wanted to, pump up her friends and talk about the bagels. And it was something that didn't make the cut. It didn't really matter. But the girls were like, oh, here we go. Jill's going again on her thing. And, so she kind of got a bad rap. But no, she was being very kind. And she even gave me a candle. She sells candles now, right, with the crystals in them. And at home, it's a signed little candle from Jill. She was lovely. She was
cool. That's nice for her.
Yeah. And then who next? Who was the next? Vicky. Yeah, Vicky walked in with clout. Like, she walked in and you could tell. I've never seen her. Again, I didn't know. I now kind of have some idea. She's been around for a long time. But she walked in like, oh, she was kind of like the force field that maybe could have taken over the place if she wanted to. But yeah, I felt like she was in a really bad spot. Her energy was low and she wasn't like super happy. She was really always kind to me, but her energy was like just down. And I feel like it caused other issues. And it's not anybody's fault. It was that she's dealing with an incredible breakup and had no time or space to process. None of the ladies left the house for 8 days without each other. Like, no one said time out and went to a hotel. They were all there, so no one had a break. And Vicky needed it probably most of all.
Bro, yeah, and that's very interesting because, so both things. First of all, she's going through this breakup, which usually she takes very hard because she's not very lucky when it comes to relationships. And then the first thing that you said also, Vicky is the oldest housewife. She is what we know as the OG of the OC because she was the first housewife. She has been on this game for like 14 years, and she's known because she thinks that everyone owns to her, so like everyone should be bowing to her because she's the one who put everything on the map. So I think that's why I went to like, was she having that or giving that energy to all of the other ladies? Like, oh, I'm, top housewife, and you need to know that.
I don't think it was that disparaging, like it wasn't like she looked down on everybody, but if she didn't have time for you, she didn't have time for you. And she wasn't going to look this way or that if she was busy doing her thing, because she is who she is and she doesn't feel like she anything. Yeah.
So let's spill some tea. Who was the nicest housewife to you?
Oh man, that's a really tough one. Because I kind of was like in and out of rooms, bringing them drinks here and there. any interaction I had with them was probably short and polite. Like, oh, thank you, Marco, you're a dear. Another one of those, please, thank you. Oh, you're just so nice. So I would say all of them were really kind to me. Some of them didn't say those little things as much, so they maybe would be considered less kind, but they weren't ever really rude to me. I feel like maybe if someone was rude to me, it was Brandi, and maybe we can talk about that too. But she wasn't necessarily rude to me either. She just crossed a boundary that I think is really unfair.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Like, who was the meanest or the least welcoming, or, wherever you want to put it?
Yeah. I think all of them were very kind. I think they found that Dorinda was snappy with people, and so she was like cracking the whip on people. And Brandi had to learn her boundaries with certain relationships, like with Taylor. She had to learn certain boundaries that she has with Taylor in order to be able to move forward. So there was some learning like that, but I don't think anyone was mean or cold-hearted or anything like that. If I had to like say one thing, right? So like if this is a time to do some tea, Brandi still hasn't paid me for that shirt. And
I was gonna ask you that.
and she never really said sorry. She never really apologized. I would love an apology, like just at the very least to acknowledge that I wasn't her man candy to just, make me take my shirt off. Like I feel like I was violated in some way. That she just
it was very aggressive at the moment, like.
Oh man.
Did you like that shirt?
Yeah, my wife bought me that shirt.
Did you fix the shirt, or did you just let it go?
I definitely still have it.
Yeah, I mean that's very true, like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking because it was during the moment that she was dancing and everything and they were all going like a little bit crazier. Maybe she thought that it was for fun or whatever, but still, I do agree with you that she should have at least reach out and say like, hey, you know what? I'm so sorry. I was drunk, or, whatever.
I don't need to hear why she did it or anything like that. Just to be like, you know what? That wasn't cool. That wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
In hindsight, we can look at all the facts and go, yeah, not cool. That's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so terrible. And even the day after, it wasn't so terrible. But it like slowly has dawned on me, like it just sucked that happened. Anyway.
Let me ask you. Okay, so who was the messiest on the rooms?
Probably Brandi. Yeah. I felt like her room didn't provide her really any space to put anything, so she just kind of made a point to put everything everywhere. Yeah, and I will say that each room had their own bathroom, and those bathrooms all were like taken over when they were there. Like the bathrooms were the craziest mess. But then anyway,
I mean, especially not only like girls, but these girls. So you can imagine like the whole thing. Yeah.
I can now imagine. I now know.
Did any of the housewives like try to had a conversation with you at some point, or it was very like, this is the Butler, just like do things for us and that's it?
I think near the end, people were like, Marco, tell me about you. Like, I haven't even seen your face because I had worn my mask.
Yeah.
All around them, they haven't even seen my face, and so I had, Vicky and Jill. Were both people that I remember, and Dorinda, Vicky, Jill, and Dorinda, those three were like interested in like, oh, so you're an actor, what are you doing now, how did you get this, they were the ones I had conversations like that.
That's with. Nice.
Yeah, where they asked me about me.
All right, and okay, so let's go to the night of the burlesque dancer, because she was not a stripper, like the burlesque dancer. Yeah, take us to that night, and what do you remember from? I mean, I know that is gonna end on like some craziness. So let's go to the beginning when, you know, she's dancing and then they brought you to dance. Like what was going on your mind during all that period?
I feel like I have to go back even further. Okay.
Okay.
If there's ever behind the scenes footage or like lost scenes that come out, maybe you and I should do another one of these interviews, because there was a whole thing that happened the night before the bourbon tasting where I went to production and I said, like, don't leave me alone with Brandi. Is kind of what I said to them. And if that footage gets released, we can talk about that whole experience. But a whole story happened where I said, don't leave me alone with Brandi. And they said, don't worry, you're not going to be left alone with her like that again. We're sorry it happened. How about this? Tomorrow night, we're going to let you off early, because the bourbon people have their own bar. They have their own bartenders. They have their own servers. You will be let off early. So when they started setting up for the bourbon tasting, I was hanging out. If you can see me taking pictures, and it was just because they needed someone there. So I was taking pictures, and then when they really.
Wait. Hey,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah.
You got disconnected for a second. I'm sorry.
So the lady sat down for the bourbon tasting, and I was going to be released soon, and I wanted to taste Dorinda's bourbon. So they gave me a couple of drinks, and I started having a couple of drinks. And I had maybe 2 drinks, and the bartender was very kind to me. Anyway, Bjorn. Holla at me, Bjorn. After the burlesque dancer came out and she did her thing, the mood kind of started to die down, and then they had me come in, and they just kind of said, Marco, come here. And like they've been doing all day long. So I just run over there, and they say, go in there and get the ladies dancing. So I go in there and I just dance. I just start, you know, going with what the music is doing. And I'm not dancing with anyone or on anyone. I'm just kind of grooving. I think Phaedra like pats me on the butt, and it's like nice and all funny. And then the shirt ripping happens. In my mind in that moment, I was trying to stop her, and I was like, no, like, I'm not, like, I don't have a chiseled 6-pack. I'm not ready for this. I'm not the dancer. I don't want to be on national television like this even, you know, like, so I was trying to stop it. She kept going, and then I tried to maintain composure, and I looked over, and producers were like, just keep going. And so I just kept going. And then the second I had the chance, I just slithered away and left. I will say, if you go back and watch that scene, they edit it almost backwards. So pay attention when the dancing starts with all the ladies. At the beginning of the dancing, they show Tamra like taking it off. They show Dorinda almost completely undone. And then they show the event with me, right? At the end of it. But if you go back during the event with me, you can see that the other ladies hadn't even undressed yet. The party hadn't tipped to that level yet. It was like just fun and dancing. She ripped my shirt off, and then it got tipped to that point.
Yeah, they tried to make it seem like your event was like the height of the night, basically. Yeah.
I think they try to build it to mine being the thing, when really my being stripped down caused everyone else to get stripped down. Anyway.
I mean, it was a crazy night for sure. But what it was really surprising to me, it's that it was really early. Like it was like 9 p.m. or something. It was very early, and they were like already doing all of these things. And then they move into the house, and they keep drinking. And because it got crazy that night. People were crying, people were fighting. I mean, the whole thing. What do you remember from inside the house?
I remember I mentally quit as a butler. When my shirt came off, I mentally checked out as a butler. I like grabbed a drink. I like went and sat down. I think there's even a moment you can see me sitting and talking to Vicky. I just sat down in the room that night. But yeah, I remember just kind of sitting and waiting to be told I could go home. I couldn't even put my shirt back on because all my buttons were missing. So I was just sitting and waiting for my turn to go home. But yeah, I remember that the next morning I heard about the craziness the night after. I heard more about the stripper or the burlesque dancer coming inside the next day.
So that was interesting. So you were not staying at Bluestone Manor.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Hotel nearby.
All right. So you were allowed to drink. So they did not pay for the shirt. Did you tell like anything to the producers? Like why is this she doing this?
Absolutely. And on top of that, I pointed out that I only had so many shirts with me. They didn't provide a wardrobe. That was my shirt, you know? And I had shown them other shirts that I have. Like this is one too, right? But it doesn't film well. See how it's like all wavy?
Yeah.
So they were wear these shirts. You can't wear those shirts. So I had a limited wardrobe anyway. And then she went and ripped it. She destroyed a shirt. So anyway, it was crazy. Yeah.
Question: did any of them hit on you?
You know what? I would have to say that maybe Brandi did. But
That's expected. Yeah.
But it didn't feel like if those behind the scenes footage come out, you and I should do this again. We'll talk more.
Now we need to call Bravo and be like, where is the lost footage of Ultimate Ulster?
I have a feeling it might come out. This season is pretty popular, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, first of all, this is something that the fans have been asking for a very long time. And when first season happened, I mean, it was nice. It was a lot of OGs, we were very hyped for it. But as soon as they start filming season 2 and we knew who the cast was going to be, you have to understand that your cast was the biggest dramatic housewives on the whole franchise, so we knew it was going to be crazy. We were so hyped. We were like, people are still saying like, oh, they need to do a reunion, they need to the loose footage, because they do sometimes do that, because we know that there needs to be more to what we already saw. Okay,
there's tons. There's cameras on every corner of the house. Every room had a camera. There was cameras running around everywhere. And it was 8 days, almost nonstop. These women didn't get a break, like I said. So the drama was high for sure.
Well, who will you think, I mean, for you, is or was the hottest housewife?
Eva.
Yeah,
it's from the moment she walks in the room, it's like, the bar has been raised, everybody. Everyone just got this much uglier, right? Like we all just stepped down because Eva walked in the room. Hands down, Eva.
She's such a beautiful woman. I mean, she's a model, but like you can tell that she is like stunning.
But it doesn't stop there, right? Any of the housewives can make you stop and go like, wow, that's not a huge deal. But to start there and then to get to know Eva and see how she conducts herself and see how she behaves, she's kind of an incredible being, in my opinion, from what I saw in those 8 days. Holla at me, Eva. I would do that crazy show, whatever. What her show on BET right now, All the Queen's Men. Holla at me.
Wait, that's great. Yeah, I mean, Eva really give that energy at all, a lot. I'm sorry, because she is very kind. Also, she's kind of like those weird gems that they're not only like hot and beautiful, but they're also like an incredible personality, and you can tell that she will care for you and that she's nice to you.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me just go here. Were you surprised? Okay, so were you there when Dorinda lost her cool with Tamara and Vicky for the whole rules situation, and you cannot eat in the room? And like, were you there when they started like fighting?
Yeah, I was absolutely there, sweating profusely. At any moment, I thought she was going to turn and start yelling at me. I would have deserved it, right? I brought them food upstairs and perpetuated the rule breaking. She very easily could have turned and yelled at me, but she never did. She never took it out on me. Never brought it up even again to like double check with me. She moved on. I was really happy about that. but I did see it slowly snowball out of control. And I think anyone there could have told you it was coming. Just like the tension in the room was overflowing by the time Tamra left in tears. I felt terrible.
Yeah. Were you like, because we know, I mean, the girls didn't, Vicky or Tamara, they don't tell anything to Dorinda right there, right? They're just like taking the blame or anything. And then they throw you under the bus, like on the confessional, like way later, you know, they're like, well, Marco was the one giving us the food, blah, blah, blah. Did you felt bad that they were taking all this blame, or like, how do you feel at that moment?
No, I did. Absolutely. I felt terrible. I felt like they were taking the beating for me. Right. So I come back in later and I ask if there's anything I can do. And really the damage had been done, but I wanted to help make it better. And it was my fault. I really did feel like it was my fault. I actually wish that Dorinda did just turn and go like, Marco, you shouldn't have done that. And then they could have moved on sooner. You know, it didn't have to turn into like a relationship problem that they had, you know.
Yeah, because anyway. It really became a big thing. But also because I do agree, like, you're having these girls for a vacation, and the whole rule thing, it was like so lost into, like, when you're on vacation, you don't have rules. I mean, you usually do whatever you want to do. You know? And I feel like it's not like they were like, I don't know, like putting pasta sauce on the bed, you know, and rolling side to side, you know, like it was like a cupcake or like whatever they were having. It was so.
Yeah. I feel like Dorinda has a standard of how things are in her house. And she was really hoping people would kind of rise to the occasion. And I think people wanted to let loose. And so I think those things don't line up sometimes.
Let me ask you, so one thing that Dorinda is very known for is her decorations and her hostess skills and all of that. Christmas night, were you like surprised by the whole Christmas situation?
Absolutely, yes. I think she went out beyond what the cameras can show. We ended up having dinner inside when initially there was a huge Christmas spread outside that we were going to do. So I feel like they set up maybe 3 or 4 different Christmas events that never even made the cut. But it was a huge undertaking. The menu ended up having to change. So, it was a little odd to have steak instead of like a duck. But anyway, that's a whole weird kitchen thing. I spent a lot of time in the kitchen. I helped them with the menus and putting plates down and things.
Let me ask you, were people who actually work for Dorinda in the house, or were just was like production?
Dorinda had one staff in the house, and that is Glenn. She is incredible, by the way. She refused to get in a confessional, but everyone was begging her because she is just like the loveliest person, the nicest lady. Len was her staff member, and everyone else was production. So even though I was her butler, I was part of production. The chefs were part of production. Okay. That was pretty. Yeah.
All right, and anything like, okay, how put this? Like anything that you can spill that maybe was off camera that happened in the house, or that you remember off camera?
Oh, I remember a bunch of things that were probably really small and didn't mean anything, but something that I thought that viewers would have loved to see was that one day during one of their trips, they went out to some place to go eat. None of the ladies felt like they had eaten enough. And so on the way back, they made everybody stop so that they could go to McDonald's, and they ordered everybody burgers. And the ladies like scarfed their, Whopper or their quarter pounders and their French fries. And I thought that was really, I don't know, there was something about it that was really nice. I looked at them like human beings,
It should have show that, because that's very relatable, and make them seem like they're one of us.
they didn't want to like promote McDonald's, but man, those ladies bond over some burgers. They did.
Okay, and the last night, no, I think one of the last nights, all of the ladies got crazy, and I don't know if you get to see something that a lot of people wanted to see. It's like Brandi being really, really drunk. Did you experience that?
Yeah. Are we talking? Yeah, Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Yeah, I think it was Christmas, right?
So a big part of my job from day one on the phone, they said you're going to be serving them a lot of drinks. So I kind of knew everyone's order. I was bringing them their drinks. Not a very good bartender. I bet the drinks I made were mediocre, but I just kept bringing them in, right? Christmas night, they were getting like juicy, like the drama that they were talking about, the information that they were like. So the producers wanted to keep that going. So I just kept coming in with more and more drinks.
More and more, yeah.
I could not believe how much they kept drinking. At one point in time, all of them had their drinks in front of them with some drink left, and they weren't asking for any refill. They weren't continuing to drink. So I asked if I could go home, and they said, no, go in with a round of shots. So I go in with the tequila round of shots, and they drank it. I couldn't believe it. Like they were going out that night, but they were staying in. Yeah, no, I just the shortest dress on the earth, and no shame to it, but it's the shortest dress ever. She was rocking it, and I feel like Tamara's thing is to jump on someone and start bouncing, so that happened.
Were you worried that they're gonna bring me into this again, like the other night?
From the very beginning, serving the very first wine on the very first moment. I never wanted to be on camera. I just wanted to kind of be there, do a good job. Maybe I'll make a few acquaintances that later turn into some relationship in the future or something, some chance to bump elbows with people is what I was hoping for. I didn't want to be in the confessional booth when they asked me to go in. I was terrified. Anyway, yeah, I was always worried that they were going to ask me to come in.
To dance with Brandi again, or Brandi on top of you. Well, I mean, this is the craziness of the show at the end of the day, you just go with it and you just have fun. It was 8 days of craziness, and then you kind of move on with your life. Will you do this show again if they ask you?
If Dorinda asked me, then I probably would. I would probably consider it if she asked me. Yeah.
That's nice. And what surprised you the most from this group in general?
I will say they were able to deal with a lot of humongous problems and come together and find space to respect one another. I think Tamara and Brandi is a great example of, you don't have to agree with someone 100%. You don't have to love them, but there are certain boundaries that we have to respect in order for this to work, And as complicated as it may have been for them, they found a place. And I think that is a huge takeaway. I think another huge takeaway is watching Phaedra and Eva kind of mediate the drama. And they don't get involved in the drama, but they go over in a way they get involved, but they help de-escalate it. They say things to disperse tension versus build it. And that's a really good skill too. So you can have a master class on conflict resolution if you go back and watch that season again. Anyway, I was really surprised by that. I thought that eventually someone would be too big for this and, march out of the place and not come back. I really thought at some point that would happen.
That's very interesting because, the housewives are known for that, because usually you get into a fight with someone, you're like, bye, I'm not talking to you ever again or whatever. But they don't do that. They always find a way to no, let's resolve this right now and try to save whatever friendship we can save.
That's right. And that's a big lesson that all of us need, conflict resolution. You have to deal with the thing that's in front of you, or else you're going to bury it and have a reunion show 20 years later and rehash it. It's that's all that you don't need. Just be willing to do the work there. Anyway, those ladies I thought did a great job at doing that.
Well, look, I think you did a great job, honestly. You show up, You were fun. You did what you needed to do. So let me ask you, you are right now in Puerto Rico. Are you planning to stay there, or what's your next move?
I think I'm planning on going where my work can take me, right? As of right now, I'm in Puerto Rico, but I am an actor. I'm a writer. I think to do that fully, I will have to bounce around quite a bit. So I think this is going to be my home base, and I think I'm just going to bounce around. I think I'm... Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So I think for now, this is my home base, and we'll see what kind of work I can make happen from here.
That's nice. And have you ever thought like moving to like here to LA or go to New York? Like,
I would absolutely love to move to LA. I graduated from acting school at the end of the pandemic, or at the beginning of the pandemic, I should say. And so I didn't get a showcase, and I didn't get like an opportunity to go to LA and find an agent. I didn't get the opportunity to move to New York. So the pandemic really threw off my whole plan as an actor to go to one of these big cities.
yeah.
But you know, this pandemic really put my head in a place where I'm focusing on what matters. That's why I'm in Puerto Rico. But I think I can still keep acting and you know, maybe come visit you in LA.
Yeah. You definitely have to come here because you can make a lot of good connections here as well. And now you have experience and on TV. So
yeah.
Well, Marco, thank you very much for joining me, for answering all of our questions. Please tell everyone where they can find you on social media, because it was so hard to find you. Like, I tried for like days. Even like my followers were like, no, let's go, let's do this, let's find him, because I mean, your name, it's a very common Spanish name as well. So like when I put like Marco Antonio Vega, it's like a bunch of them, and then I went like, no. Where can people find you?
I mean, I'm the most available person, I feel like. So hit me up. I really am. I'm on marcoantoniovega.com. You can even just straight marcoantoniovega.com. But I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
I was gonna ask you something, because when I found you on Instagram, you were answering questions from people were leaving you about the show. Did that happen like overnight? Like, did they start asking you all of these questions? Like, were you like overwhelmed or?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely overwhelmed. I didn't get anybody reaching out to me until I said my full name, and then everyone I felt like was reaching out to me. So it was really overwhelming. It happened all really fast. People were asking all sorts of questions, and I'm a really open guy. Like I'll tell you exactly how I feel about something. So I was answering people's questions, and then I stopped because people were responding and saying like I was being ungrateful, or that I that had a negative energy about the whole project, and that I should keep my mouth shut. So I was like, man, if they're reading something like that, then I don't even want to like get involved. But having a conversation like this is so much easier. So thank you.
You know what? It's interesting because you know that you're making it when you start having haters. Not everyone is going to love you, you know, so you need a little bit of both.
Sure.
Then you know that you're making. So everyone needs to go and follow Marco on his Instagram. Are you on somewhere else or just Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm mostly on Instagram, but I mean. And
they're all the same, Marco Antonio Vega.
I believe so, yeah.
I'm going to try to put the link to your Instagram on the description of this video. Okay. So people you easier.
Awesome.
Okay, Marco. So I think that's it. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Anything else that you want to say to the fans?
I don't know. Like, at me, and let's see if we can get Andy to put me on Watch What Happens Live. That's what I would love to see.
Oh, yeah. Let's make that happen. That's for sure. Okay, Marco.
Having me, I appreciate it.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm gonna remove you for a second, and then I'll chat a little bit with you. Okay,
great, no problem.
All right, guys. So there you have it. amazing interview. He's very, 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 very nice. Go and follow him, seriously. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on all of my social media. You can find me as Real Andy BH across the social media universe: Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, everywhere. Real Andy BH. And if you have a little bit of time, go and subscribe to my other YouTube channel, The Real Andy, where we get close and personal. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be reading every single one of your comments. So make sure to leave all your questions or whatever. And I'll see you around. Bye, everyone. See ya.